I, Sir Benjamin Lee Guinness, hereby give all my brewery concerns to my two sons, Edward and Arthur, jointly and equally.
God, I started episode 1, and I think 8 hours later, I was done with episode 8. I binged it all the way through. Incredible job, incredible performances. Look, Arthur wants freedom and indulgence. Edward is the principled and business-minded. Do you find parts of yourselves in those outlooks?
I don't really. I'm impulsive, a little bit irresponsible. You know what? I'm quite clean. I like surfaces to be wiped over, so that would be my only similarity with Edward. I like a clean surface. Other than that, I'm a bit of a mess. So no, I'm not similar to Edward in the slightest.
How about yourself, Anthony?
Yeah, I think my only similarity with Arthur would be that I love having a mustache. I love it. I love when you have a pint of Guinness and you just drink it and you've got that little foam on the tash and you give it up. Beautiful.
Yeah, sure.
Stream House of Guinness on Audible. It's 25th on Netflix. 25th. Yes, very happy to be here and to be doing this show. I didn't feel there was many similarities between me and Arthur, but that was like such a joy about playing him. It was great when a character is so far away from you and then you get to go in and explore. Yeah,
you said Arthur jumped off the page for you. What was the first thing about him that made you say, I need to play this guy?
It's a great question. So much of it, man. I just loved how much of a dick he was. And
yes.
How much, and then once you got on in the series, you realize where all that sort of attitude and sort of performative stuff's coming from. I loved how quick to anger he was. I loved how prideful he was. There was so much in him that I thought was just such a great character. I loved his vulnerability. There's loads of stuff in him that I just really wanted to play.
Now, Louis, both Arthur and Edward have complicated relationships with love. How do you see forbidden love shaping their journeys?
I think Edward allows himself to lean into a love that is purely forbidden because I think he's just bursting with a need to do something wrong for once, to cause a bit of mischief. And I think his whole life has been ruled by doing the right thing and leading by example. And I think you can only stave off the impulses for so long. And so he does something that he knows he's going to regret, and he does it anyway. And I think it allows him to get in touch with the side of himself that is young and hasn't been explored properly.
Anthony, Arthur's described as a classic West Brit, masking his Irishness with English airs. How did you approach the duality in that?
Yeah, how I approached the duality in that, I sort of wanted to have his accent reflect that. You know, I wanted him to sort of try and suppress his own accent and his own voice and have this sort of trying to like ascend to the British aristocracy and try to affect this sort of English accent that doesn't make sense and that doesn't fit his mouth or his body. That there was so much sort of like a performative nature to him, you know.
Now, Louis, Ellen and Edward share pivotal moments. Without spoilers, what drew you to their connection as an actor?
As you said, forbidden love. Yeah, I mean, there's something quite classic about that. The old two people who love each other that can't be together. Yeah, it's not quite Romeo and Juliet, but it's, you know, in that ballpark. What drew me to that? Yeah, I think it was just the fact that Edward was going against something that he previously really stood against or stood for. He was fighting himself, and we love a bit of internal conflict.
Absolutely. Anthony, you've called Arthur's relationship with Olivia unique and complex. What made their bond stand out to you?
I loved, I'd never really read a relationship like it, and I hadn't really seen many things on screen like depicting a lavender marriage, which is, you know, what they have. And I loved it, and I loved the actress that played Olivia, Danielle Galligan. She's such a talent, and I think she gives one of my favorite performances in the show. And yeah, every day working with her on set was an absolute dream.
There, in episode, I think 4, we get the wedding, and that episode felt like a dreamlike sequence to me, but it really felt like it transported me back into that era and into that time. Was there a moment on set where you had almost like a pinch me moment where it's like, wow, I feel like I'm transported back into time, so immersed within the show, in the sets?
Yeah, that was a great scene, the wedding scene, you know, particularly because there was loads of different cast members in that week. Usually it was just doing stuff with 2 people, and then suddenly there was the whole cast was there. And hearing the music and having the dancers there and the swish of the costumes and this great ornate ballroom where you didn't really have to use much imagination. You just sort of like looked around and you did feel like you were in the 1860s.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. Now, Louis, in episode 3, Edward teaches Ellen the Guinness minute. Are you officially an expert at pouring a pint now?
I am an expert, and anyone who says otherwise is simply wrong.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Now, Arthur carries secrets that leave him exposed while Edward's pushing to expand his family's reach. How do these pressures strain and bind the brothers together?
I think you were talking about this.
You were saying something wrong. You said something really interesting about it. I remember him on the elevator on the way up said something really interesting.
Oh God, of course you're right.
What was it? You said something about the brothers.
About the brotherly love.
The brotherly love. The brotherly love.
The fact that we bond over time. We start polar opposites, not even wanting to be in the same room. I resent him for everything he's done, and now have to be his mate that I have to look out for, and it's just all a bit rubbish. And then when I mess up, all of a sudden you have a line. It's like, no, that was my job. I'm the one that always gives in and does things that I regret. And I think I see a bit of myself in him. And I mean, you say it. We are brothers after all.
Yep.
That's a nice scene for that. I think we see each other a bit clearer.
Look, incredible job on the show. I cannot wait for people to see this show. Me personally, I cannot wait for season 2 because the way this show ends, man, my God. Thank you guys for your time, though. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Spes mea en Deo. Love is our hope.